That's got a long drive down 169. Straight shot. We're good to go? Smithville Board of Aldermen meeting is now called to order. Please stand and join me for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Any discussion? Mowing and slip lining, Chuck. Great stuff. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Melissa, can you hear us okay?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, but
I can see your,
I can hear you.
oh,
try now.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yep.
we're good. Thank you.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda, City Administrator's report, Ms. Wagner.
wanted to remind everyone of the Proposition P information meeting tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. here at City Hall. Members of the public as well as the board are encouraged to attend as you're able. Chuck mentioned earlier when we had Anthony here for the work session that Anthony and the street crews are monitoring the weather. Rain right now is really preventing us to be able to pre-treat the roads. Haven't heard a local forecast, another forecast, but I think there potential for significant snow in the morning, at least blowing wind. So crews are ready to come in and remove snow for a morning commute as is necessary. We also discussed at the work session this evening, but wanted to make sure and highlight from the city administrator's report the fact that we did open bids last week for the 144th Street Pump Station and West Bypass. The low and most responsive bid was just under $3.4 million. We also anticipate an additional 100,000 and change for electric service that the city will will pay for with funds separate from the project. So approval of that bid and that amount with Evergy will be on the agenda for the March 18th meeting. And then wanted to call to your all's attention and reminder that we have the Board of Aldermen retreat scheduled for Thursday and Friday, April 17th and 18th. Tomorrow you will get, Gina will be sending out a survey. We have some questions for you all, really kind of looking at our goals and our strategic plan over time, what we need to be focusing on from your perspective. And then are going to ask each of you to kind of look at, you've probably heard of a SWOT analysis, looking at our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Department directors recently had a retreat and we did the same exercise. What I'd like is to see what the board says and then do some comparison information. That survey will go out tomorrow. You'll have about a week and a half to return it. And tomorrow I'll also be reaching out to each of you. I'd like to sit down individually with each of you and kind of talk through responses and where you'd like to see things going in preparation for development of the agenda for that retreat. So I'll be in contact with you all. Either I'll catch you later tonight or tomorrow. And then finally, I did want to note at the end of our meeting last week in public comment, Mr. Palmer from Hills of Shannon was here with some questions, concerns. Jack and Kiowa have reached out. They have set up a meeting to discuss with him those concerns. And it is our intent, and that is scheduled for later this week. And so we'll have follow-up report on that information following that meeting.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 5, Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve Bill number 3055-25, destruction of records, for our second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance authorizing the destruction of certain records.
Thank you. Next item has two readings. It's for the election issues. Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve bill number 3056-25, fiscal year 2025 budget amendment number 5, emergency ordinance, sponsored by Mayor Boley for our first reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor will second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Russell.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Alderman Atkins.
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski.
Aye.
Alderman Shipley.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025 operating budget to add $6,802.25 to the general fund expenditure budget.
Thank you. Second reading, Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve bill number 3056-25, fiscal year 2025 budget amendment number 5, emergency ordinance, sponsored by Mayor Boley for our second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor will second.
Discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Shipley.
Aye.
Alderman Atkins.
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski.
Aye.
Alderman Russell.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025 operating budget to add $6,802.25 to the general fund expenditure budget.
Next item on the agenda is number 7. Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve bill number 3057-25, repealing section 155.020, economic development, first reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor will second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I just like to point out, I've had a couple questions from constituents, and also I think there's some comments online. This was a board decision. This was not a decision by the mayor. The aldermen decided that at this time, it was good to repeal this and have an alderman representative. And so I just kind of want to make that for the record that this was a Board of Aldermen decision.
Yeah, I didn't get to sit on that committee. Barely even went. I don't think I ever went when Gina had it, maybe once, I don't know. Yeah, see, not even my committee. Sad. All right, any other comments? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski.
Aye.
Alderman Atkins.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Alderman Shipley.
Aye.
Alderman Russell.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance repealing Article 2 Economic Development Committee, Section 155.020 Economic Development.
Thank you. Any public comment? Nobody signed up online? Any new business? With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn regular session.
Do I have a second?
Mayor, second.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, say no. Stand adjourned. Enjoy the weather.
Is that the record?
No.